I wanted to chat with you about something I've had a number of people ask me, and that is, should they sell on Etsy? My answer is a deep resounding no. I have 5 reasons why I have found that Etsy is kind of a waste of time and has not done me any good in my art business. Now, there are some people that have a lot of success, and kudos to them, and definitely I am not the end-all be-all of advice here, but I'm going to tell you today why I do not advise selling on Etsy. So make sure you pop that subscribe button for all the good artsy birdie information so you can come back again and again and again. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Before we get started, I just want to preface this by saying, I have attempted to sell on Etsy for a few different products over the years. So I'm not just making things up. This is speaking from my own experience. I initially tried selling handmade clothes and stuff like that I used to make when I was did traveling craft shows and music festivals and stuff like that, the handmade clothes I would make. And then I tried doing just my regular paintings and drawings and stuff, although it was a few years ago, so they're not as good as they are now. So it wasn't I feel like the quality of work wasn't quite as good as I am now, but still it was pretty good, whatever. And then my custom portraits, which were custom portrait drawings or whatever, and those ones are really nice, high quality, high-end, customizable art. So I feel like I've got a pretty good understanding of Etsy, just considering the 3 different kinds of handmade things I've tried selling on there. Oh, you know what? I take that back, 4 different things, because way back in the day, gosh, probably almost 10 years ago, I tried selling jewelry, some beaded jewelry and some other kind of stuff like that. So yeah, I've actually done jewelry, clothing, just kind of regular sort of art, and then customized art. So I've tried doing a lot of things on Etsy. So this is, this is only the experience of one artist, but it is one artist who has done, a fair amount with Etsy. Okay, so let me just let you guys know my history with it. Now, that being said, as you can see, I've always been a one-woman show. Everything I've ever sold has always been just me making it, you know what I mean, or just my artwork, and then maybe offering prints of it or something. However, my number one problem with Etsy, which is why it is number one, because it is number one, is that they don't even exclusively do handmade anymore. That is so frustrating and just not cool, because honestly, Etsy branded itself for years as a platform of handmade, high quality, that some person, usually a woman, has put their heart and soul and love into this and made it in their, living room or garage, and it's this, project, it's they tout it as this very one-to-one personal exchange of goods by the person who makes it. Okay, so everybody spent years bumping them up like that, and it's not like you're bumping up another company, you're bumping up the products, your own products with a company. So by bumping up this yourself, you're bumping up this company. Do you see what I mean? It's way different than just being oh, I like this, brand of jeans, and then who cares what they do. But it's no, this is me, I designed this thing, and I'm touting this company, and I'm raising up this company, and then all of a sudden, now they're just gonna open the floodgates and let in every cheap import or whatever piece of crap material, So to me, Etsy doing that really just, they completely cheapened their brand. They cheapened it for everybody. Now, the standards are so much lower that when somebody goes on there, if you're selling quality art or your artwork on high quality paper, high quality prints, you're already pretty much, you've already pretty much almost screwed yourself, honestly, to put it bluntly, because you're going to be priced so much higher than so much stuff that's on there. Unless you can afford to actually make money selling a $7 print or something, forget it. Etsy's not going to give you. What works on Etsy is if you can do digital prints. Basically, somebody pays you $5 or $8, and then they get a high quality, basically digital file of your artwork, and they can go print it themselves, because then you don't have to do anything or have any product. But other than that, and I'm not saying that there are not artists out there, like I said at the beginning, that are selling high-end stuff, but to me, it just cheapens the whole thing. You can't, how can I sell my high quality art product when somebody can just look one page over, see something maybe in a similar style that is a quarter of the price because it's, printed on not so high quality stuff in another country, you know, whatever. I don't know. It's just very frustrating. So they cheapen the whole brand. That's number one. So reason number two, I do not suggest selling on Etsy is because you are not going to be found. I feel like Etsy kind of tries to posit itself to its creators as like a place where people will find you and your goods, that you'll have this whole new audience, and that's not really true. Like, that platform is full. It is saturated. Like, I feel like even 8 or 9 years ago or whatever, when I was selling little necklaces and stuff on there, it was already saturated then. You know what I mean? It is, you're not really going to be found on Etsy. You're really not. You have to push people there, and that's not bad. That's not bad. You know, it's not ridiculous for you to have to drum up your own business. I mean, that's normal. But the thing is I feel like Etsy tries to make you feel like all you have to do is just open up a page and then just start, you know, raking in the orders and like all this and that, and they try to give you all these things, these little creator handbooks and stuff, and some of that stuff is useful information, but like, I feel like they make it, I don't know, like it's almost like they make it feel like if you're not being discovered, then it's kind of like your fault, instead of just the fact that the platform is totally saturated and they like to promote things that are already popular. And like, I mean, from one hand, on Etsy's perspective, I guess I can't blame them for wanting to promote things that they know are going to be successful. But then on the other hand, like, don't tout yourself as this place that small creators will get discovered, because they won't. You know what I mean? Just tout it as a platform, like Shopify or something. Shopify doesn't tell you you're going to get discovered. You know what I mean? Etsy tries to make it sound like that. So number two, you're not going to get discovered on Etsy. And that goes into number three, being that when someone does finally make it to your page, i.e. when you can direct someone, like, that's the thing, is they're not gonna send people really to you. So you're gonna have to send someone to your page on Etsy, and that's actually really difficult. Like, it is a lot harder than you think. People are always sound interested and always say that they want to see your stuff, or you know, they'll see your booth and they'll say, oh, you know, let me think about it, like, you know, like at craft shows and stuff like that. Oh, let me think about it, let me grab your card. It is so few people that actually then wind up going to your website. But when you finally actually do send them, then number three happens, where Etsy literally shows other people's products on your product page. Yes, yes. Like, I'm telling you, it is so hard to get someone on there, and you finally get them on there. They're finally on a page of your product, looking at your description and your write-up, and they keep scrolling, and then Etsy's like, look at all this other crap. People can pay to advertise on your page, and then if that's not enough, Etsy will literally be like, oh, you like that? Here's a bunch of other crap just like that. Guess what? This is probably gonna be a lot cheaper and a lot less better quality, but all they're gonna see is your art, painting, or print, and then another art, painting, or print, or whatever, and there's gonna be some huge disparity in price, and guess what? Bye-bye, you've lost a customer. Thank you, Etsy. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but thank you, Etsy. You know, thanks for nothing. Like, so yeah, I mean, it's so, yeah, just no thanks, Etsy, no thank you. Guess what? When I have my own website, guess what doesn't appear? Other people's products. What a novel idea. Reason number four, what I do not recommend Etsy, is because they charge really high fees. Yes, if you manage to, after all that rigmarole we just discussed, finally actually get a sale, guess what? They want 5%. 5% out of every $20. You got to give them $1. That's a lot. That is a lot, okay, for transaction fees and Etsy fees and whatever their fees are. And not only that, but that 5% doesn't just come out of your product, but it comes out of the whole total, including shipping, and if you have to add taxes or something, because certain states make you add taxes. So that is 5% out of the whole shebang. And not only that, P.S., they favor people who do free shipping. So they're gonna take your shipping money that is legitimately for shipping. I mean, some people have really heavy products, and the weight varies so much that they can't just do shipping included or quote unquote free shipping, because it might be like drastically different. And then they're gonna take 5% of just the cost of getting it to the customer, and then they're gonna favor people that do free shipping. Like, it's so, they just are punishing people. I think I do Stripe and Square, and I think those are somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2.35% or something like that. Like, it's like half of what Etsy charges. And I'm sorry, but Stripe and Square is like, I can use those like universally. Etsy I can only use on its own platform, which you've already paid your like 20 or 30 cents listing fees or whatever. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And then last but not least, number 5, the reason why I really don't like Etsy is because at the end of the day, you don't have any control over your own shop. I mean, it's as simple as that. You are on somebody else's platform, and like, they can change the prices, they can change the rates. I mean, who knows? I don't know if it happens, and maybe they can deem your artwork like not suitable or something if you have nudity in it or something. I don't know if that happens, but I'm just saying, like, not only that, but they are always changing like how they do things and how things look, and like, you're constantly having to like relearn, like, I don't know, various ways of uploading and different boxes you have to check and all these different selections. Like, it is like constantly evolving, whether you like it or not. You don't have any choice. I mean, that's the thing, is like, you've got to be pretty confident in a platform to put your entire business on a third party, and then all of a sudden it could just be like poof, gone one day, or changed up, or like when they raised their rates, you know, there could have been a lot of people on there that were making good money, and that, you know, couple of percent could have really like bit into their, you know, bottom line. So that's the big thing, is like, I like having my own website that I send people to, that there are no other artists work on it, that I control the pricing and the shipping and all that kind of stuff. I favor what I want to favor on there, and then I control how my platform looks and how I, you know, interact with it. Now, I use Squarespace for my website, so of course you could say, well, that's a third-party platform too, and that's true. But if you really wanted to, you could go on to like Wix or whatever it is, where that is an open source platform where nobody owns that. That is like, as long as the internet exists, that thing is going to be there. So if you really want to be like super safe and really, you know, have all the complete control, you can go on that. I mean, I really trust Squarespace and love it. This is not sponsored or anything. I just really love it. But yeah, so I don't like it. Like, after all that, it is so difficult to get somebody on there, to sell somebody something, to actually turn a profit. And then at the end of the day, like, you're not even in control of your own storefront, you know? I mean, not to mention that there's like a certain like couple of layouts that you can use, and that's about it. I mean, really one, and then there's like the website thing. So anyways, in case you're wondering what this little bird thought, well, I know you kind of were, because I've actually had people over and over again ask me, do I sell on Etsy? Should I sell on Etsy? That kind of thing. And, you know, I would say no. Honestly, I would say no. I would say if you see successful people out there and you really want to sell on Etsy, then maybe you need to watch their videos or find out what they're doing or something. But like, you know, there was a while where I was really invested in my little shop and really trying to do the things that Etsy told me, and really trying to like give people my business card in person, and really trying to, you know, put the keywords in and follow their little algorithms and stuff. And I just never saw any real growth to speak of. I mean, I've had a few sales here and there, once or twice, maybe somebody random, but yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I would say take all the time that it takes to set up an Etsy shop, because you think, oh, they got it all set up for me. It still takes a lot of time, and to take all those photos of all your products and all this stuff. Like, I think if you're gonna spend that kind of time, you should just do your own website. You can get your own website. You know, they start off free, but I would go for something that's like maybe like, you know, an $80, $90 a year. That's nothing. I think mine is like $250 or something, and I have commerce and all that stuff. So like, it's worth it, guys. It's worth it. Etsy, not so much. At the end of the year, depending on how much you sell, you might actually save money by having your own website than doing Etsy's fees and stuff. So I'm just saying. Mwah. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And please feel free to always drop me questions and stuff in the comments. Like, you guys are the reason I'm doing this channel. You guys are the reason I'm here. And you guys are the reason I even know what to post about. So I love you. Mwah. If you learned something, pop that subscribe button, and I will see you next week.